All right. So, I am back after a long time away. I was streaming on Twitch for most of it.
Link in the description if you want to get your ears abused.
No, seriously, my chat calls me Screamsly instead of Beastly. And they also call me Feastly and make fun of the fact that I look like a young Nikado Apicado. But I digress. Something amazing has happened to Cards and Castles. The rank system has been fixed. Ladder is now viable. I'll tell you the whole story about how it happened, but first, let me tell you a little bit about this match. So, this is a match between myself, who is currently rank 3 2 days into the reset, and Arm, who is currently rank 1 2 days into the reset. The date that I'm making this video is the 13th of August, and you may be wondering, why has rank reset on the 11th of August? Now, basically, 2.5 months ago, I may or may not have been involved in getting the ranked reset implemented. Now, the ranked reset was basically an idea that, okay, our rank system is really inflated. You have people pushing higher and higher and higher, right? So why don't we just reset it every month? Pretty simple. However, the ladder wasn't really equipped to handle that, as your star gains compared to star losses was a little insane. Like, you would, in the, say, 2000s, you would gain 3 stars, but lose 70 stars against people that were like 500 or 600 stars lower. At least that was my experience. Now, if you were like a 2K and you were going against another 2K and you won and they lost, you would gain 20 stars and they would lose 40 stars or 50 stars. An unforeseen consequence of these ladder rates was people figured out that if I just rank a new deck 0 to 10 matches, it's going to rank like 200 stars higher than my top deck as long as I get 10 wins. And then I can just rank another deck 0 to 10 and go up another 200 stars. The issue with that is it's kind of hard to, get 10 out of 10 over and over and over again. So you had players only playing on unranked decks, and as soon as they lost, they would just make another one. And as you had a fair number of people doing this, there were just no matches on TV, as there was nobody laddering. I kid you not, the first week of every reset, so the first week of the start of the month, there would be 0 matches on TV, and then there would be like 2 or 3 for the next week, and then 7 or 8, and it just looked like the game was dead because there were no matches on TV. To make it worse, the whole idea behind the reset was, oh, we can race and see who can get up the highest before the end of the month, where everybody's reset down to the same level. But the leaderboards were bugged, so if people didn't rank a deck, their old ranks stayed on the leaderboard, and we just had people that would show up as 3.3Ks while everybody else was at 1K. So it didn't really feel good to try to race up the leaderboard when there were people just automatically way higher. These two combinations together kind of just drained any motivation from the more dedicated players, and it probably confused the newer players a lot to see no games on TV. And I can't really speak to the leaderboard. Maybe newer players don't care about that so much, but I can tell you veteran players, they like their leaderboard ranks. They want to get high ranks, right? That's kind of a lot of the motivation behind grinding Cards and Castles. So there was just very little grinding going on. It felt very stale and unmotivating with those star win-loss rates. I'm a beta tester for Cards and Castles 2. I'm going to take full responsibility here. I'm the one who originally asked Vondre, the creator of the game, to reset the rank. I, kind of had some other people support me. Now, I know you're thinking, but Beastly, it sounds like you're trying to shift responsibility. Shut the fuck up! It's full responsibility on me for what happened and kind of, the ramifications Also, we didn't really bring the ramifications to Vaughn's attention, so they didn't really get fixed for 2.5 months, and that's on me, as I should have taken responsibility for. You could feel that something wasn't quite right with this new system, and resetting it every month, players just weren't playing the game because there was no point in their eyes. That being said, I would like to apologize to anybody who quit Cards and Castles because of the reset. I honestly, I apologize. It was not the intention to make it not as fun as the old system, and I think it definitely was not as fun as the old system. The good news out of this is Ventre just did an update to Ranked where it basically fixed everything. So he actually made a post to Cards and Castles on the news that outlines kind of what he did. I'll just go over it quickly with you. He fixed the leaderboard bug so that it is now only players who have ranked decks, their top deck shows up as their leaderboard rank. So it is now perfect. It works perfectly. And I'm going to tell you right now, leaderboard racing is some of the most fun I've ever had on reset. I just sat for 12 hours and I just grinded. And I was the third person to reach 3K after Hayden and Triple Gay, who I'm playing right now. Arm is Triple Gay. So just keep that in mind right now. It's me versus him with this disgusting War Party deck that I copied from him. It's very based. It is a very fun deck to play, honestly. So Ventre fixed the leaderboard. That was the first issue, right? The second issue from the ranked reset was nobody was laddering for stars because the rates were so bad, and there were no TV games showing up as a result. So to fix that, Ventre made the star counts while you're laddering go even. What that means is if I'm playing you and I win, I gain the same amount of stars that you lose. So for example, if you lost 50 stars, I would gain 50 stars. And it's not exactly that. There's like a difference of 1 or 2 stars or 3. But for the most part, I've been talking with people I've lost against or won against, and they won or lost the same amount of stars that I lost or won. And to me, that is amazing. This is phenomenal. And that enabled people, when it reset, you went to 0, right? So when Ventre did this reset mid-month, everybody went to 0. I was able to ladder up to 3K 12 hours later, and that was with me losing quite a bit during that time. There were other people who had almost perfect game streaks, and they got up to 3K in a few hours. Ladder now is just, it's beautiful. I love it so much. The majority of players, well, I don't even think the majority, like everybody is just saying it's amazing now. So if you haven't played CnC recently, I would highly encourage you to come back and check out the new rank system. All of this being said, we haven't actually seen another reset, so we don't know what's going to happen to people's stars, if it's going to go to 0 or if it's going to like half or something. In Ventre's post, he did say that the stars are going to be reduced, but not all the way down. So we'll see what that actually means. If it's based on your current star rank or if it just sets you down to like 1500 or something like that. We'll be curious to see how it goes. Now, Ventre also said in his post that if there are issues, then he'll address those. So he is going to continue to make changes as needed, if needed at all, right? Because from what we can see so far, the system seems almost perfect. Because stars are being introduced into the game by players ranking new decks, and then laddering is actually profitable. Like, if you are a good player, you can climb on ladder now. It's just beautiful. Like, nobody could climb on ladder before unless you had an insane win percentage. Now, if you win like 55% of your games, you can climb on ladder. So this is beautiful to see, honestly. Now, I'm gonna come clean with you guys. I have become a little bit addicted to Cards and Castles again. And as a result of that, I'm going to be streaming a lot more on Twitch. And I will be creating a little bit of YouTube content for you guys. Just keep in mind, right now, I'm working. I'm planning on leaving my job in around a month. But until then, I'm still going to be working, so I'm not going to have a lot of free time. Most of my free time goes towards streaming or exercising currently. That's my life. I have learned how to touch grass, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, again, if you haven't tried CnC recently or quit because of the ranked reset, I would highly recommend coming back, giving it a try, and seeing how you like it. Get a deck ranked, try ladder out a little bit. It is honestly just it's perfect in my opinion so far.